Alright, here with Millennium Wars Korea, starting mission 1 called Unification. I think for this video, this is going to be about the scenario, a little bit about setup, starting the sequence of play, and hopefully getting to information warfare. So, goal here is to get to information, the information warfare segment. So let's start. Millennium Wars is obviously, it's a series of strategic level 2-player simulations of future or near future conflicts. Each player will move as units and execute different kinds of attacks each turn. While there are 2 sides in the game, certain scenarios will allow NATO intervention on one side or the other. They have standard games, and then they have whatever, advanced rules, or advanced rules. I'm playing with everything in the actually, I'm playing with everything, but no expansions. This is Millennium Wars Korea out of the box, so this is the series rules, version 1.1 actually, again with basic and advanced rules, and then the Korean War particular rules. Are there any? I don't know if there are any, but okay, let's talk about the scenario. Got mission 1 called Unification. This is the quick introduction. Using U.S. military maneuvers as a pretext, North Korea discards the 1953 armistice and invades the South. United States forces occupied elsewhere in the world ship all available units to cope with this incursion. So what are we looking at? The first player for this scenario is North Korea. So this is North Korea here. Here's the boundary between North and South Korea. So I'm looking from the north side of the map, looking south, because the North Korean side is the first player. First player turn goes first in the sequence of play. The red units here are North Korean units. The blue down here are South Korean. The green units here are US. And then, let's see, off map right over here, just a few hexes this way is the Chinese border, and we have a few units up here in China. So for example, we got a headquarters here with an infantry corps. This gray color is actually Chinese. So yes, China is on the map, but north of their border. Alright, so again, player 1's North Korea. The North Korean side will control Chinese forces as well. Here's my little reminder. North Korea is player 1. Here's my little reminder here. South Korea is player 2. South Korean side will control the NATO forces. Game length is 10 turns. Starting political index is 45. We'll get to that later. Air superiority table modifier, now it's 0. It will change at certain points in the game, but it's 0, which I will use that right off the bat. Okay, so let's see, I think that's enough for getting started. You basically set up within your national boundaries. NATO starts the game actively allied with South Korea. Okay, special rules are 2. One is Chinese intervention, and the next is shock attack. So shock attack, North Korean player may declare a shock attack on the first turn. That's now. Shift the political index 10 in favor of the South Korean side. This results in all North Korean land attacks being shifted 1 column to the right on the first player turn. Alright. Let's just go ahead and declare that. Now let's go to the sequence of play. You start with random events segment. There's a random events table up here. It's a 11 to 66 dice roll. I'm actually not going to play with that this first turn. I looked, I couldn't see any rules that say whether you do or don't do random events on the first turn, but I'm actually not going to do it. It's fine later if it turns out you do it on the first turn. I want to ease into that later. Next is the air warfare segment. Now I will do that. So here we have the player's role on the air superiority table to determine who will have air superiority this player turn. Again, the modifier was 0, and it's a roll of a 1. Air superiority table, second player air dominance. Alright, so that means that the South Koreans have air dominance. I'm sorry, second player air superiority. Are there... Okay, no. Okay, I guess there is a modifier. The only one is the one given in the scenario rules, or maybe as a random event. Maybe as a random event as well. Okay, so it is air dominance. I'm not sure that's going to help the South Koreans that much, but you know what? I need to make. I don't see any way. I don't see any marker for this, so I'll make a note. A note for this off to the side. Make a note. South Korean. Air superiority. Alright, so that'll come in later at some point. Okay, alright, so now we're going to the first player turn, reinforcements and replacement segment. Again, I'm going to switch or skip this step, even if you do actually play this on the first turn. I'm just going to get back to this later. Now we got information warfare segment. So information warfare is actually given as an advanced rule, but again, I'm playing with all rules. So actually the advanced rules are information warfare, air move, I don't know why I wouldn't play with that, special ops and recon, deep zones of control, again, I don't know why I wouldn't play with that, intensive assault, yes, naval operations, absolutely, political impact on military operations, and game extension. Definitely playing with all of these, no questions. Alright, so information warfare. Now, this, I'm looking for any unit that has this lightning bolt symbol there in the lower center. So this is a cyber cadre unit. I put it next to Pyongyang. Seemed like a good place to put it. That's the only one I see on the North Korean side. There are some special units. Yeah, they have these special forces types units, but I don't see that they have this information warfare quality. Now you can do defensive information warfare. So, for example, the South Koreans have their information warfare capable units as well, but for game purposes, I'm not going to have them play defensive. So only units with the information warfare symbol can make these attacks. They have to be combat effective, that is, they can't be disrupted. So I'm totaling the number of units. Yeah, so 1. So then there's an information warfare table. There's a differential. So I'm going to roll one die. 1, man. 1 again. FB is the result. Feedback. Roll 1 die. And okay. Alright, get a 5. Shift the political index, that number in favor of the enemy. Okay, so that's a negative result for us. So that's going to be 5 political points in favor of the South Koreans, which I think is going to put it... I think that's going to drop to 40 political index. There's a number track, a generic number track 0 to 9 on the side of the map, where you keep everything. So I've got the game turn marked. I've got this political index for 10s and 1s marked here, and also very important, each force has their C4I level marked on the side here. So we have 1 for each of the 4 forces in this game, Millennium Wars Korea.